From the team you can trust, this is breaking news from News 8.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this web edition of News 8 at 6. That breaking news, the $765 million government deal with Kodak is on hold. That as the company is conducting an internal review. Rebecca Pfaff joining us live now. Rebecca, what exactly does this mean?
So, Jack, we spoke with trading experts today who tell us Kodak's business plan is on pause until an investigation is complete.
Kodak does not get the money, at least not yet.
Movement with Kodak Pharmaceuticals is on pause. Stock market expert George Conboy explains the International Development Finance Corp is investigating Kodak for potential insider trading. And he says there are two things that led to this.
The CEO bought close to 50,000 shares of Kodak stock at roughly $2 a share, a little over a month ago, about a month before the deal was signed. Kodak says that purchase was part of a regularly scheduled series of purchases by the CEO. If that is true, and it seems likely that it is, then there was nothing improper about that purchase. But they will investigate to see that what Kodak says is true.
The second issue, Conboy says, is that Kodak granted their CEO the right to purchase 1.75 million shares at $3 to $12 a share. So what does that mean?
If the CEO was granted all this stock at a relatively low price, that would ensure that he could make a big profit if the shares were 15, 20, 30 or more dollars per share. Kodak says that this options grant was approved in May of 2019.
So the economic benefit and job creation in Rochester isn't happening right away, depending on the investigation, Conboy says.
It's entirely possible that what the investigators will find is that what Kodak did was clumsy, was perhaps ethically questionable, but it seems like nothing they did was illegal.
And Jack, we did reach out to Kodak for a comment on this, but they declined. For now, we are live in Rochester. Rebecca Pfaff, News 8.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. Peter Navarro represented the White House during his trip here to Rochester last month, and he expressed his disappointment yesterday. He says, quote, very disappointed last week's great deal with Kodak tarnished by allegations. Absolutely right move by DFC. DFC standing for Development Finance Corporation. Now to the latest on COVID-19. President Trump signing 4 executive orders today after COVID relief negotiations broke down. The orders include $400 in weekly enhanced federal unemployment benefits. President Trump was asked when the new COVID relief would be distributed. He said, quote, soon. The other orders would delay evictions, waive payroll taxes and student loans. Questions have been raised about whether Trump has the constitutional authority to go around Congress to issue this relief. The president, though, is confident it will, quote, go very rapidly through the courts. And a few Rochester public libraries will be back open, some in person with limitations. Others will be curbside pickup only. So what will checking out a book look like in the COVID era? Erica DeCoste tells us more.
Each location has been reconfigured to help maintain social distancing guidelines, which will be enforced.
We've missed everybody, and we're looking forward to it.
After months of preparation, staff at Rochester Public Libraries are ready to open their doors.
Our staff has spent a lot of time and energy trying to think about what signs we need, what decals we need on the floor, what lines we need, what services we can provide safely.
Some locations are only offering curbside for the time being, and there's a reason for that.
With our smaller libraries, trying to maintain social distancing guidelines was just a little more difficult than in others. So we decided to start slowly and work with our larger spaces first and make sure that we were doing it right. And then we can roll it out to other libraries if we find out that we can do it safely.
There will be a screening process right upon walking into the doors that includes a health questionnaire and a temperature check. Traub said some furniture has been removed for the time being, and there will also be plexiglass shields in computer areas.
Things will be a little different from the get-go, and in a recession, libraries have proven time and time again that they are critical to helping the community get back on their feet. To that end, many of our librarians have been, even while we were closed, offering things like resume review services. But beyond that, yeah, there's some of that escaping into a book, being able to find your next great read.
There will be no in-person or library events at this time. In Rochester, Erica Cost, News 8.
All right, Erica, thank you. To see a full list of which libraries are open for in-person visits and which are curbside only, head over to our website, rochesterfirst.com. And Governor Cuomo announced Friday that New York State schools could reopen next month. Each district submitted a reopening proposal last week to the New York State Department of Education pending approval to move forward. The governor is also asking districts to have a specific plan by the end of next week on their websites for testing, tracing, and remote learning. We talked to parents about how they feel about getting back to class. We will hear from them tonight on News 8 at 11. Now for the numbers. In Monroe County, 24 new cases of the virus are being reported. Of them, 17 are under the age of 40. There are, though, 0 new deaths being reported. Across the state, over 700 new cases and more than 500 are being treated in hospitals. 5 people have died statewide. And no safe space for racism. That is the message from a rally today in Irondequoit. It was organized by a group called Erase. That stands for Eliminating Racism and Seeking Equity. This coming after the group says students in Irondequoit posted, quote, concerning acts on social media about the Black Lives Matter movement. Speakers addressing the crowd about their own experiences with racism in the town, both online and within the school districts. Organizers say they wanted to show anyone wishing to harm them or the movement that they are not afraid.
They began to show and display the concernful acts on their social media. And so today we are responding that there's no safe space for racism in Irondequoit and our greater Rochester community, all of our surrounding counties. We are seeking to eliminate, eradicate, erase racism once and for all.
The town of Irondequoit, along with both the East and West Irondequoit school districts, are organizing an anti-racism book discussion. That announcement also made today. The topics will include the history of racism and how it's impacted the community. It will be open to the public. And 3 green spaces in Fairport could turn into something new. Officials held an outdoor session today about future plans for the spaces located near Winding Brook Drive off of Turk Hill Road. Several dozen community members got to voice their opinion about what could be built there, but some say the spaces should be declared parkland so no new developments can happen and people can simply enjoy the outdoors.
This is park land or declared park land. No matter what you want to do with it, it'd have to pass the state legislature.
Kids in the neighborhood, including these 2, really love playing up here. I've run soccer practices up here, and I really don't want to see it go.
Officials said no plans have been made, and today's session was just to get everyone's opinion on how to best use those spaces. All right, we'll move to weather now. James Gilbert, this weekend we deal with those rising temperatures. Not a bad finish to our weekend, though.
No, for sure. Looking great as we get into tonight and tomorrow, but we'll see those temperatures rise for sure. 77 degrees, that's just about as warm as we got. That's today should make about 4 consecutive days below average. We haven't done that since mid-June. It has been so warm all of July and really so far in August. Satellite and radar showing a couple of isolated downpours in very eastern Wayne County earlier. Same with the Finger Lakes. We've all cleared out. We've all quieted down. We've got a waning gibbous, about 75% illuminated. No chance for rain this evening. A nice night, a beautiful Saturday night for you. Love these summer nights, right? Just keep those candles going. Of course, got the bugs out there. With the bug spray, you'll be fine. Tomorrow looks great, warming up. Mid-80s, great one for the beach. Water temperature, Lake Ontario in the 70s. Finger Lakes in close to 80 some spots. 90 degrees back in the forecast. Both Monday and Tuesday. Have yet to see it this month. We'll likely see it. Hairspray forecast, yeah, that is going up, up, and up. You'll notice the humidity increase significantly by Monday and Tuesday with that heat, and of course the heat index responding pretty quickly, as we'll see. Not tomorrow. I think tomorrow's fine. Mid-80s, comfortable. It's really Monday and Tuesday where we see that heat index crank up. There it is, lower 90s by Monday afternoon. Not the funnest way to start off the work week. Heat and humidity. Now, what about the rain chances? Well, none really tomorrow. Okay, maybe an isolated drop similar to what we saw today. You see in your futurecast a couple of blips across Lake Ontario. Other than that, I think an isolated shower or two Monday when we get that big heat and humidity. Tuesday, that's really when I'm expecting for some showers, some thunderstorms in the forecast. So a Sunday specialty, a beautiful day for you there. Heat and humidity return both Monday, Tuesday, and of course, I think Tuesday is the better chance for storms. I think both Monday and Tuesday have a chance. You can see the percentage, 20%, 40%. But I think Tuesday with a cold front, that's really going to drop the humidity, but of course we'll have to deal with the storms there as well. And then a little bit of cruise control as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, heading into next weekend. Weak high pressure moves in, and that should keep us pretty quiet for the second half of next week.
You know, James, in the middle of this past week, I was walking into the station. It was like 75 degrees. There was a light breeze. I was like, you know, we're spoiled right now. This is really a perfect August day. Now we sort of have to deal with the consequences of experiencing those 70-degree highs. We are back in the 90s.
Yeah, August can really be perfect at times, but every once in a while it still bites you with a 90-degree temperature.
All right, James Gilbert, thank you. That's all for this special web edition of News 8 at 6. We are back on television at 11. See you then.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and our apps for both news and weather.